Archie coming at you once again with another episode of the 24-Hour Entrepreneur Show. I definitely want to thank you for giving me a few minutes of your time to hear what we have to talk about when it comes to generating additional income for your small business. As an entrepreneur, you want to make sure that your business is working for you on a 24-hour basis versus you having to be a slave to your business. The last time we actually had the show, we had Larry Rogowski, the massage therapist, on the show to talk about some strategies and methods that he uses and implements within his business that enables him to be a 24-hour entrepreneur. All right, so that's what we're about here, okay? So this afternoon, I have a special treat for you. All right, we have a young lady. Her name is Gilad. She is a true entrepreneur, and even more so than that, she is a 24-hour entrepreneur. Now, I'm going to run through some of her credibility, some list of credibilities, or credits rather, and I'm sorry I have to get out the paper for this game because it goes on and on and on. All right, so first and foremost, all right, she has 2 books out already authored and already on Barnes & Noble, so definitely get in contact with her. The first one is The Real Estate Millionaire. I'm not sure if you can see that, but it is The Real Estate Millionaire, How to Invest in Rental Markets and Make a Fortune. All right, so that's the first book. All right, so the second book is Copy Editing and Proofreading for Dummies. Of course, we've all heard of the Dummy series. The Dummy series, I'm pretty sure you can recognize the colors of the book and all that stuff and recognize it. So this woman, like I said, is a superwoman, and that's just 2 things right there. I'm going to get out some more of her credits here. She is also a business consultant to small and mid-sized businesses. She helps small and mid-sized businesses gain more exposure on the internet, which I think is perfect for a lot of business entrepreneurs out there. Real estate investor, and she's also a mentor and coach to other entrepreneurs, and she is a new mother, not a new mother, but a mother she just introduced to the world, a new addition to the Gilad family, so I'm pretty sure she is definitely excited about that. And welcome, Sue, to the show.
Thank you. I always say, once you've created an asset, you can definitely then create a liability. So every time I build a new business, I have a new baby.
There we go.
I might just be done building businesses in that case now. Thank you. I feel very welcomed, actually. And this past year, it's funny to have you talk about what I've been up to, because this past year I really was able to set all of my businesses on autopilot because my son was born last September. I'm pretty confident he's my last. So I wanted every moment to count. So I looked at the 9 months prior while I was pregnant and said, what do I need to do in order to literally make everything run without me? And that required relinquishing control. And that, I find, is a really tough lesson for any entrepreneur to find. Because, you know, they're all my babies. My businesses are my children. But what's happened in the past year is that every one of my businesses have grown.
Wow.
And that's a great lesson. Like, I'm not as good as I think I am. If I put the right team in place, if I put the right systems in place, then things are going to go beyond my wildest dreams because other people have strengths that I don't have.
Wow.
So the way I got started on this incredible journey of entrepreneurship, would you like some water?
No, I'm fine. I'm good.
You have some next to you. I came to New York to be an actor, which, as you know, is a truly brilliant financial plan. That was it. An agent saw me in a show and introduced me to voiceovers, which is when you record your voice on television or radio. And that was the first time I heard about residual income or royalty income, when I would record my voice for a television commercial. Every time it ran, I would get paid. I thought this was a brilliant way of doing business. And I realized I didn't know very much about business, so I went and started reading everything that I could get my hands on. The first book I read was actually a book by Beth Kobliner called Get a Financial Life. And it was designed specifically for individuals in their 20s and 30s who hadn't had formal financial education like myself. And from her book, which was very simple, very clear, I started to delve more into entrepreneurship. So, for example, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker. And my personal favorite is The 1 Minute Millionaire by Mark Victor Hansen, who's the author of the Chicken Soup series, and a real estate guy, Robert Allen. We took some of my voiceover income and we bought an investment property, I believe in the year 2001, because every book said you can either own real estate or you can own your own business. And this was really before the internet had taken off in a way that was accessible to the average individual. So we thought real estate. We bought a little building filled it with our friends, actors, put up signs in the Screen Actors Guild and Actors Equity saying, actor housing for actors by actors.
Gotcha.
So we ended up getting really wonderful tenants. We understood exactly what they needed. And that building we leveraged to buy another and another. In 2005, because the real estate market had simply kept going like this, I noticed I was saying the same thing over and over when people would ask me, how do you invest in real estate? So I thought a good use of my time would be to write it down. And that's when the Real Estate Millionaire was born.
Gotcha.
At that same time as a real estate millionaire, a dear friend of mine was taking a course on internet wealth. And he said, you know, Sue, there are tremendous opportunities on the internet, ways to reach people you've never known before. And my day job up till that point had been proofreading books, wherever I was in the country doing theater. So I wrote, people had asked me, write some information about how do you proofread books. So I wrote a little book called Paid to Proofread, and it was literally just, how do you get the skills so that you can get the jobs and people can send you books like The Da Vinci Code or Sex for the Clueless or How to Learn Any Languages. These are books that I proofread while I was on the road. So I wrote Paid to Proofread. And my friend Jeremy put it on a website for me where we could download the introduction to the book completely free of charge in exchange for your email address. And then, you know, that introduction explained what was going to happen in the entire book. So the average individual would come back 15, 20 minutes later and download the entire book for $24.99. Now, it was an ebook. So how much did it cost me when they downloaded it?
Absolutely.
Exactly. And the whole idea there is I do the work once, I keep getting paid on it.
Yes.
Initially, we had traffic just from the theater community, then from the tri-state area where I live, and then on Air Force bases worldwide, because Army spouses were looking for something to do. And then it exploded across the U.S. and in places like Singapore and Phoenix and Japan and Israel.
Amazing.
Yep. So the Dummies people came to me and said, you've had thousands of people buy air for $24.99. Can you please write copy editing and proofreading for dummies? We know that your audience will buy an actual book for $20. So the beautiful thing here that I learned about platform is the day that the Dummies book was published was suddenly legitimate. And so I was on ABC television.
Great.
For a very brief spot.
Great.
But on the bottom ticker, they ran Sue Gilad, Suzanne Gilad, founder of paidtoproofread.com. And that day we had over 2,000 sales of the ebook. So I understood the power of creating your own platform through the internet. And so I partnered with the web development company that had actually been my platform that I trusted and was able to provide that same kind of platform to entrepreneurs who are looking to put together information packets like books or to sell products that they really believed in. And today my website development company is actually my greatest success story because we've had entrepreneurs like myself been able to expand their reach so that only individuals who are looking for them and looking for exactly what they want can find them via the internet. So it's a very different paradigm shift from the old days, which was you had a storefront and you hoped that someone needed the cameras that you were selling or the donuts you were selling. And if you were selling donuts in Tacoma, nobody was going to buy your donuts in Seattle.
Right.
Well, here on the internet, if you put something up on the web, if I put paidtoproofread.com on the internet, I'm going to have millions of people see it who would never know about it otherwise, and I don't need to bother my own local community about what I'm up to.
Yes.
I can truly be an invisible entrepreneur. The other thing that I happen to love, especially in light of the two of us sitting here, is that the internet makes your gender, your color, your background, your upbringing irrelevant, invisible.
Exactly.
There's no such thing as a glass ceiling. So when I talk to people who are still employees, nothing wrong with being an employee.
Of course.
But if they're just employees and they're complaining about how someone's in their way for climbing the ladder, I think to myself, I'm so grateful that the internet has leveled the playing field completely. And so now the businesses I built, the only businesses that I'll build now, are based on the internet.
Wow, that's amazing. What an amazing story. What
Thank
an
you.
amazing journey.
Yeah.
And what an amazing journey. Now, you were just speaking about employees, and also a lot of entrepreneurs out there are listening to you, of course. And you're a mentor and a coach to a lot of entrepreneurs. Now,
I keep saying
yeah,
I'm tough.
I know you are tough.